Hey guys, so yesterday I had my first top surgery consultation. So in this video I'm just going to talk about what you can expect from your first top surgery consultation, and I'll also talk about what I was told and what my experience was. So I really went into this not really knowing what to expect. I couldn't find much information online, and I asked around, but most people seemed to not really know what to expect from a first consultation. So I went in hoping I would know what type of surgery I'm gonna get and maybe with a better time frame. And I just wanted to know more details about the process after surgery and aftercare, all of that. So I went in with some questions prepared, but I didn't really know if I was gonna need a blood test, if I was gonna have some sort of physical exam, what they were gonna tell me. I didn't know anything really. So my appointment was with Dr. Brendan Waller. So I actually had to go to a little village next to Hull called Cottingham. And this is about 5 hours away on the train for me from where I am. It was quite a trip. The whole consultation lasted about 15 minutes, around that. Although I think I remember calling and asking and it said allow up to an hour. So I got my next train about an hour after my about an hour and a bit after my appointment time, just to allow, just in case it did last longer. But I think because I'm quite healthy, I think that helped it go a bit faster than it could. These are the assumptions I went into this appointment with, that I was going to have surgery really soon and I need to be ready. And that I could potentially not have double incision. Anyway, so I go in, I meet him. He seemed really lovely. He seemed really calm. I think maybe some people go into this really anxious. I obviously wasn't sure if I was gonna have to have a blood test, so I had a bit of anxiety, but I felt really comfortable. I was really excited running up to this, so I was mostly just really excited to find out new information. So I went in, first he introduced himself, we spoke a little bit about my life, my health, we just spoke about general things to do with my life, so he got an idea of me a bit better. We then moved on to a physical exam. This was my first time having a doctor kind of touch my chest. I obviously, for a few seconds I got in my head about it and I was a bit worried, but the thing to realise is that it's so different when it's a doctor. They gave me privacy, they let me get changed, they let me cover myself, they waited until I felt comfortable, and the assessment was really straightforward. You just sit in front of him, he kind of just prods and pokes you and just sees what I think he was probably checking skin elasticity, he was just checking size. And then once that was done, he again gave me privacy. I got dressed again and we sat down and he basically said that I'd have to get double incision, which completely fine. Like, it's always been an option for me. It's always been an option I was completely fine with. Like, I'd much rather have 2 scars on my chest than the chest I have now, obviously. But because I thought I'd put so much work in, I kind of, it just felt a bit in the moment like, but it's really amazing news that I can have that. And that there's no health complications for that. He then explained a little bit about what to expect, how to prepare for surgery, what to expect after surgery. So he said that the drains stay in for 7 to 10 days afterwards. So because I live so far away, I'd have to stay locally for that week. He said he usually does the surgeries on a Thursday afternoon. You stay there overnight. Friday, you come out. You stay there for a week, and then the following Monday they take your drains out. After the surgery they give you a chest binder to keep everything flat and together. The post-surgery binder, he said you wear that for about 8 weeks, and during that time you can't go to the gym, you can't stretch, you have to do as little movement as you can for those 8 weeks. For my case, because my work, some of my jobs are very physically demanding, he said I need about 6 to 8 weeks off work as well. He said after the 8 weeks, you can choose to get your own binders if you want to carry on with the compression. And you can also get scar tape or scar cream. I've used bio-oil in the past as well for things like this. So you can pretty much carry on taking care of your scars as long as you want afterwards. Finally, top surgery date. So the time frame, which is another thing I went into my appointment with an assumption of. But obviously I was referred to Dr. Nishaw, and Dr. Wooler, I believe, is part of his team. This is something I'm just going to check with my gender clinic at my next appointment, because I was a bit confused why I saw him and not Dr. Nishaw, but I think it is just because they're part of the same surgical team. I don't have a top surgery date, but I have quite a specific time frame, straight from the surgeon. Like, this isn't a guess anymore, this is an actual time frame of when I'm gonna have top surgery, which is really exciting. It's just much longer than what I had in my head. So he said between 12 to 18 months I will reach the end of the waiting list for my top surgery, which means that possibly this will be my last summer finding, which is really exciting. Don't want to get too emotional, but yeah, like, waiting another year is nothing compared to the rest of my life. And finally, he said I was going to have another appointment with him closer to my surgery date, and this will be a pre-op appointment where there'll be bloods and there'll be another physical assessment, just more of a thorough health check. And finally, kind of risks and warnings and things like that. So he did mention that smoking, whether that's tobacco or cannabis, anything, smoking can reduce blood flow. So therefore, when you have your nipple graft, it can affect the risk of that going smoothly, because it affects blood flow to your nipple. But he said that the risk of that, even if you smoke, is very low. But he did advise, like most doctors, like all doctors do, to quit as soon as you can. So yeah, that's how my first top surgery appointment went. It was great. It was like, although I had a couple expectations that weren't met, the appointment overall went amazing. Really good news. And I get to enjoy this next year knowing that it's the last year in this old body, and next year at some point I will be more me on the outside and I won't have to bind ever again, which is amazing to think about. I hope this was really helpful. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them below. More than happy to answer any questions. And if there's any videos you want to see, I'm more than happy to. I'm going to spend this summer making more informative videos when I've got time. So again, just leave it in the comments below, and all my socials, all my contacts, if you want to message me questions privately, are also down there. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.